Well, who would have thought that since last year, Melvin Capital will now go 360 degrees against what he used to do. All right. This is a company that went all in 2020, but kept losing a ton of money, actually 3 times last year. And the first month of January, of 2022, they lost a ton of money. We're talking about $7 billion. And when you hear that, they're now completely turning course, and now they are doubling down and going all into the reopening trade. Well, then it's about that stuff gets more interesting when into AMC stock, for example. Oh, by the way, as I'm recording this video, the stock is up almost 8%. Let's see how it closes before the trading session. This definitely was expected, because you know what is actually part of the reopening trade? AMC as well, especially when you look at all the pre-earnings that they disclosed a couple of weeks ago. And it seems like we might have a surprise when they actually officially disclose these earnings, because it means theaters are not dead. Have you looked at the numbers on the box office revenues on Spider-Man alone? AMC has now acquired another theater in the Chicago area, after 2 new big ones they acquired last month into the California area. So it means this company, the company fate and the narrative around why it made sense to be shorted into certain stocks, AMC included, is now dead. And as a matter of fact, that's why Melvin Capital is now going all into the reopening trade. When you go all in, it means you're now going long, especially after what was reported a couple of weeks ago. So is it a coincidence that we also have at the very same time bunch of other hedge funds similar to Melvin increasing the stakes, doubling down into AMC, piling onto this stock? Look at just this quarter alone, we have more than 3 times the amount of buys and compared to sell only this quarter, and this quarter is not over yet. It's not a coincidence that we have a bunch of these companies increasing significantly the amount of position they have into AMC. Why? Because it makes more sense if you want to keep your clients happy, if you want to keep being relevant into the street, if you want to keep making money, then you have to shift from what you used to do in 2020 and 2021, because the easy money policy is dead. The market is shifting. It's not what used to work last year and the year before that will continue to work this year. So AMC can profit from that. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. And definitely that's why we've seen a bunch of these guys piling up. Also, not a coincidence that we have the top, smartest, and top in terms of revenue, in terms of trading, in terms of where to put your money to work for you. Renaissance Technologies increased its AMC. Jim Simon's hedge fund boosted in the AMC positions by about 800% in the 9 months to December 31st. 8 times. Why will the biggest, smartest, and top hedge funds on the street multiply his position by 8 on the 9 months past? If the stock was really going down? No, I don't think so. Why Melvin Capital will now suddenly decide to go all into the reopening trade? Because it makes more sense now, as I mentioned earlier. So as we can see, the buying pressure is now starting to be reflected into the share price, but mostly because of way market are operating now, and the Russell 2000 is up more than 26% today. So this definitely, according to what the market will look like in 2022, we can expect this to continue to put a lot more pressure into the hedge funds. When will that happen and trigger them into closing, the short position? Nobody knows. If I knew that, well, you already know. So just another matter of patience, because it keeps getting better and better month after month. So